Let's save this file. So we're gonna put file save management, and let's it seems like I got something else in here, so let me see what else I have in here. Okay, I don't need this right here. So let's put file save management, and over here it's gonna ask us the location. It doesn't know where in the action, so we gotta highlight this. It's already highlighted, and click save as, and we're gonna call this temporary ribs. We just make a new folder, and we're gonna save this main part. Click OK. OK. So we have this saved. We can close this out right now, and let's start a assembly design. As you see, the icons are different. This helps us to put the assembly together. So for now, we can do a right click and insert the part we just are working on. So let's go to components, and let's put the existing component, and it's gonna ask us for our part. Click open. So this is our part. With all the publications that we just did. So let's make sure we rename this. What's this section? Let's put over here main part. So this is our main part right here. We got the publications. I just want to make sure before we move any further that we go to tools options, and we have to make sure that in our infrastructure and part infrastructure we have the keep link with selected objects, because most likely those are not highlighted, so we have to make sure we turn those on, because once we're gonna start insert parts and we try to link them together, we want to make sure that we have those options on and turned on over here. So make sure that the keep link with the selected objects is turned on, and show newly created external references, confirm on the link with the selected object, and allow publication of face edges, vertical and axis extremities. So make sure we have all those on, then click OK. And now we're going to try to be able to, we want to build our rib on this plane, and this plane is the one that we just created on the publication. So what happened is this main part, we're not going to be able to use it, so we can turn it on. For us, it doesn't exist. Oops, Control Z. So the most important thing right now that we're going to be able to use is going to be those publications. So let's create a new part, insert a new part, so in order to build our rib over here. So let's go again on the product, let's do right click, let's go to components, let's get a new part, and now this is very important. It's going to ask us if you wanted to create a new origin or use the existing one. It's very important when you create a lot of assemblies, especially when you work for Boeing or Airbus. When you start putting a whole bunch of parts together, we always want to make sure that we use the main axis for the airplane. And every time we insert parts and pull parts out of the assembling, we have to make sure that we use one axis, because we keep creating new axes, we're gonna mess up the assembling. So in order to make sure we do this right, I always say no. So I'll just click no. So this is our new part right here, part body. Let's name this rib 1 solid. And rib 1 over here for the part number. Click OK. Now we can't build any geometry, because right now we're still under the assembling page. So in order to go to the part body, just double click on the part, and automatically we are right now on a generative shape design. But we need to create a solid for that rib, so we can switch this to the part design. So we can go back and forth whatever we need at the time. So if we need a solid, just come here and let's click on the solid, or we can go to start and get our shape design, or we go to start and get our part design. So we can use either or. Okay, in our case we need the part design. Now you see this is the defined as the main body. So let's open a sketch, and it's going to ask us for a plane. So now instead of using our own plane, we go to the publications and we use their plane. Now it's going to ask us if you want to keep the link with the selected object. We always got to put yes. Okay, that's why we turn those options over here on the tools. We want to make sure everything stays linked together. Okay, so let's click yes. Now we want to break this plane with the surface, so we can get a contour around it. So what we can do, we can go first. Remember we used this before. Now we're gonna go to the intersect 3D elements. So we click on this, we'll click on the main surface, and we always have to make sure we always say keep with the link. Click yes, and there's our boundary. Okay, let's get out of the sketch. Let's create our pad. Let's put reverse direction. You can change it the way you prefer. Let's make it 1/2 inch. Click OK. As you see right now, our solid, it's going out of the part. But what we can do, we can trim this solid with the surface. So let's go to this option in here, open it up, and let's click on the split. We're going to split this one with this one, and we're going to keep the inside. So if you click OK, we have a beautiful part in here. It's all trimmed to the surface. We have it right here. Those external surfaces, we got those while we were building our sketch. So because it's coming from the publications, that's why it says external surfaces. Okay, you can see the P down here because it uses the publication geometry. So now let's go on our surface right here. Let's put a fillet around it. 50,000. So we got a fillet over here. Let's create a hole. We can move the hole wherever we need it to be moved. We can give it a diameter over here, 1/2 inch. And let's go up to next, preview. So it's going through the part, or we can give it a dimension. So let's go up to next. Let's put another hole here. Click on the hole, click on the surface, up to next, preview. Okay. So we got our holes in here. We can put a fillet around it, a radius. Let's make that 200. So that's our holes. Let's create a quick shell over here. Let's go on the shell. Click on the surface. Let's make it 50,000. So we have our first ribbon here. Okay. Now we have to make sure we save this. So let's go again to File, Save Management. As you see right now, we have more parts in here. We got the CAD product, the one that we put all the assembling together. We have the main part that we pull our main surface from, and the first rib that I just inserted down here. So now we have two CAD parts and the CAD product. We have to make sure every time we save those, we always make sure, well, sorry, every time we save those files, they always have to be under the same folder. Because if you're trying to open the CAD product alone and it doesn't know where those files are, and you won't be able to open it, and it's asking, hey, where's the location? So I always make sure have each folder for each assembling individually. So like you saw me earlier, I'm gonna save all this on the same folder. So because we don't have a location and it doesn't know what to do, so let's click on this and let's go save as. So this is product 1. Click save. So now it knows where to save it, and automatically it's gonna save the rib on the same location. Okay. So just to double check, click on this, save as, and it's gonna put it on the same folder that I created on the desktop. Click save. So once we make sure that all this file goes in the same folder, then we can click OK. And let's get out of the part design. So let's go back to the product. Just double click on the product and automatically it's gonna change the icons. You see right here, automatically they got changed. So let's copy this new rib that we created, and let's paste it, do a paste special into the product. And we also have to make sure that we break the link, because if you don't break the link, what it's trying to do is going to try to copy basically the same part, but we're not gonna have a duplicate. So we always have to make sure we break the link. Click OK. So this is our new part. What we got to do now, we have to make sure that we change this plane to this plane, and hopefully if I did it right, we should automatically have another rib right here updated by itself. So let's do a right click, let's go to selected objects, Okay, something didn't work right, so I just make sure that I'm on the product. So I just double click on the product to make sure I'm on the product design. Then I do a right click, and we always have to make sure we find the components, because we gotta go to define contextual links, and that's how we're gonna replace our offset 1 to offset number 2 plane. Okay, so let's click on the offset number 1, then we're gonna click replace with offset number 2, then we'll click OK, and hopefully if I did this right, if I recompute this, you see we got the icon over here, we should have our next part. It's gonna take a little bit. There we go. So as you see, automatically it's updated our part. So if we hide this, actually let's do a hide here. Okay, if you don't know where this at on the screen, we can do a right click and we can put a center graph, and automatically it's gonna let you know on the tree what it's at. So we can do this center graph, and it's this right here. So we can hide this. Then we can do again a right click, center graph is this right here. So we can hide it. And there's our parts automatically got updated, linked together. So if you do this right, follow the right steps. If you build only one part, it's the matter of how many planes you have offsetted. You have to make sure we do the publications. All right, because publication has got nothing to do with the main part. It's got nothing to do with it. So as you see, publication is the most important thing. Then we can build our own parts. So what I did, I just offset those planes. I build my 3D part. Then what I did, I just did copy and paste, and I just changed the plane into the components, define contextual links, and just click on the plane, replace it, and automatically it updated the part. I want to put some holes. I want to put some holes along this surface, and to do that, we just double click on this part, and automatically it's going to change our icons to the part design, and it's going to change our icon for the sampling, so it's going to become part design. Or if we need a shape design, we just switch it. Okay, so in this case we're going to need the part design. We don't need this right here, so we can just go here and turn it off, hide it, and we don't need those publications anymore. Okay, so let's offset the plane from the surface. Let's reverse direction. That looks about on the middle. Okay, so let's open a sketch, and let's go back again to this 3D elements intersect, and we have our curve over there. We have to make sure we turn this option off. Let's hide the body. Let's see if we can get from here. Okay, let's do normal to view, and let's put couple points. We use adjustable at equidistant points. I know my accent is pretty bad, but you get the point what I'm trying to say. and let's go 4, click OK, and we have to make sure we turn this option on. We get out of the sketch. There's our points. Let's bring the part back on, and let's create a hole perpendicular to the surface. So I have to make sure I click on, let's cancel this, to make sure I selected my point. And if you see what happened, right now our hole is right in the middle of our point. So we can change this. And let's go up to next. So there's our hole. Click OK. So first select the point, second click on the hole, and third click on the surface. And just click preview, OK, and repeat this option for the rest of the remaining points. OK. So we got our points in there, and there is the hole. And let's put some holes on the surface. So let's open a sketch on this plane. So click on the surface. Let's open a sketch. And double click on the point. Get a point here, point here, point here, and one here. Let's get out of the sketch mode. And same thing. I'm gonna put some holes over here. Let's change this to 250. Preview, up to next, OK. Now instead of copying and instead of doing this manually, we can use this option over here. Let's call user pattern. So we gotta click on our sketch. We have to make sure we have our first we have to click, we get the hole ready. So let's highlight the hole number 7. Let's go back here, and now let's click on our sketch, and if we click a preview, there we have it. So let's do that again. In order to use this option right here, the is basically like a translate, but it's our own pattern, user pattern. So we have to make sure we tell them what's the first hole they will want to translate. So we select this, which is hole number 7. Then we open this, and then it's gonna ask for the position. And the position is our user sketch that I just built before. Click OK. And there is our part. Now if I go back to the product, double click on the product, we can bring the part back on over here. Okay, we have to make sure that we save what I just done. So those nodes what I did before, now we gotta make sure I save it all. Okay, click OK. Let's add some screws to this part, and we can import them from catalog. And if you don't have this catalog browser on, you can do a right click and catalog browser. Make sure you have this turned on. So let's click on it, and we'll have bolts, nuts, pins, screws, quite a bit of options you can choose from. So double click screws, and choose the one you think is going to work for us the best. So let's give it a try with this screws. Double click, you see on the bottom over here, it'll give you more options you can choose from. So let's choose something close to 200 diameter for this hole that I just created right here. So let's get so you can see the picture is getting longer and longer, so let's get like a short one. Just double click and automatically the part snaps into the XY region. And this is our screw right here. Let's click OK. Close this, and right now our screw becomes a part of the body. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in here. So let's click F3, give it back to normal, and let's grab the screw and move it into the hole. And it's very easy to do the assembling. You just move your mouse till you get the start over here. See, if you try to do this, it's not gonna work. If you try to do this, it's not gonna work. Make sure you move your mouse till you get the across. Then once you grab across, just grab it and bring it right on the middle, on the center of the screw. So right now, if you look on the screw, we're right in the center. We just snap it in place. Let's hit the F3 so we can get rid of the tree a little bit. F3 brings it back, okay? And let's move this way. Okay, now we don't need this anymore. So once you get the cross again, you just take this, move it back, and we can click coincidence icon. And see, once you bring your mouse on top of the screw, if you don't have it, you can zoom in a little bit more. You have like an axis, it just snaps into it. So just click this axis and bring your mouse somewhere over here, automatically get another axis. Then you click and already recognizes. So what you gotta do, just do the local update. So we got our screw right now in front of the part. What we gotta do, just do a little bit of an offset from here to here. So let's go to the offset icon. We want to offset this face to this face, and over here you see our dimensions. So I put -300, so it's a little bit too much. Just double click in here. Let's make a -0.2. Click OK. Local update, and there is our screw. We can get rid of this offset if you want, and we can do some manipulation, and we can manipulate the screw on the X axis. So if we do a top view, let's go to top view. This is top view right here. We see that our axis is X. So if we're gonna do manipulate the screw on the X axis, it's gonna go up and down. So right now, if I grab this and hold it, I can go up and down. See, right now the screw is in here. I can move it up and down. Click OK. And we can bring again more screws. Go to catalog, pick again the same screw, which will take a little longer, or we can go the easy way. Just click F3 to see what we have in here, and we can go to this option. It's called the fast multi instantation, or Control D. So if you click on the screw and you click here, automatically we got our second screw, which is right here. So let's do a coincidence from this center to this center, local update, and now let's do some we can do an offset or a manipulation on X, and we can bring the screw in the front. Of course, this is not the screws that we're going to use in real life, but I thought I'll just show you how to use it and manipulate the parts. Okay, so we can save this again, file and save management, and of course we got more parts to it. Let's click save. Let's save everything. We got everything saved in the same folder, the temporary. So as you see right here, all the files that I've been working on, it goes into the same folder, temporary ribs. So I always have to make sure that everything we created stays in the same folder.